Hey everyone. So if you've ever stood there totally paralyzed, just staring at that massive, endless wall of cooking oils at the grocery store, you're in the right place. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the actual science of cooking fats. We're going to decode exactly which oil to use when, and more importantly, why. It's basically a roadmap to instantly elevating your cooking, literally just by grabbing the right bottle.
But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever been, super excited to sear a gorgeous piece of fish or a steak, only to find yourself frantically waving a dish towel at the smoke detector? Your whole kitchen is just filled with this acrid, bitter smoke. Yeah, we've all been there. It is a classic kitchen fail, but it perfectly sets up the stakes for today's explainer. Because that smoke, it's not just annoying. It's a massive red flag that your food's flavor, and honestly, its nutritional value, is actively being destroyed. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's the recipe for today's explainer. First, the smoke point explained. Then, low heat finishing oils, medium heat everyday fats, high heat heavyweights, and we'll wrap it all up with some essential kitchen pro tips.
Starting off with part 1, the smoke point explained, or the science of searing.
Right, so dodging that whole smoke alarm fiasco really starts with understanding just one fundamental rule about how fat reacts to heat. It all boils down to this, the smoke point. That's the exact temperature at which a cooking fat starts to break down and, well, produce visible smoke. Simple enough, right? But here's the catch. It's doing way more than just setting off your alarms. At this temperature, the oil is chemically breaking down. It ruins your food's flavor and actually releases harmful free radicals. Fun fact for you, heating oil past its smoke point literally destroys the exact antioxidants you probably bought the oil for in the first place. So matching your cooking temp to the right oil? Absolutely non-negotiable.
Let's move on to part 2. Low heat finishing oils. These are your delicate, flavorful options. Okay, let's bring the energy and the heat way down for a second. Get a load of this number, 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Some really delicate fats like flaxseed oil have a smoke point resting right here at this incredibly low mark. What does that mean for you? It means these specific oils should absolutely never, ever see a hot pan. Hitting them with any real heat is a surefire way to just instantly destroy them.
Now, what's really interesting about this data is how clearly it dictates our kitchen priorities. Take whole butter, right? It sits at around 302 degrees Fahrenheit, which makes it awesome for low-heat cooking, baking, or just finishing a dish after you take it off the heat. And then there's that flaxseed oil at 225 degrees. That is strictly a no-heat situation. The goal here isn't cooking at all. It's entirely about preserving those incredibly complex, delicate flavors and raw nutritional benefits that heat would just totally wipe out.
So, what exactly should be in your low-heat toolkit? The heavy hitters, well, light hitters really, are extra virgin olive oil, flaxseed oil, unrefined sesame oil, and walnut oil. For these guys, the smoke point is basically irrelevant because remember, you really shouldn't be heating them anyway. Keep them raw. Use them in cold preparations. We're talking vibrant salad dressings, flavorful dips, or just drizzling them over a finished plate right before serving to really maximize their rich, natural profiles.
All right, part 3. Medium heat, everyday fats. This is the versatile middle ground. Let's turn that metaphorical dial up a notch now. For your standard, everyday cooking tasks, we're hunting for oils that hit that 350 to 400 degree Fahrenheit sweet spot. This right here is the exact medium heat requirement for most normal cooking techniques. So if you're doing a gentle sauté with some veggies, maybe baking a batch of muffins, or building a simmering sauce, this temperature range is your home base. Let's walk through this specific slice of the data together. Up top, we've got canola oil holding super steady at around 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That makes it incredibly versatile whether you're baking or frying. Notice extra virgin olive oil pops up here again too. At 375 degrees, it actually can handle gentle sautéing in a pinch. And lard, sitting at about 370 degrees, is just phenomenal for roasting or getting that perfectly flaky pie crust. These all-purpose fats, they handle steady heat incredibly reliably without crossing over that smoking threshold.
Let's look at our preferred list and see how this builds out your core kitchen toolkit. Your essential, absolute workhorses for medium heat applications are canola oil, vegetable oil blends, lard, and coconut oil. Honestly, if you've got just a couple of these stocked in the pantry, you are perfectly equipped for like 90% of your daily cooking routine. They're stable, they're dependable, and they're always ready for steady heat.
Moving right along to part 4, high heat heavyweights. We're talking searing, frying, and stir-frying. All right, time to crank the heat way up. True high-heat cooking demands a robust, really resilient oil that can take 400 degrees Fahrenheit and well above.
This is a critical threshold. Let me tell you, if you try to stir fry in a blazing hot wok using butter, you are going to have an absolute disaster on your hands. You need an oil that is literally built for the extreme.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate powerhouses of the kitchen. I mean, just look at these numbers. Leading the pack is refined avocado oil at a staggering 520 degrees Fahrenheit. Absolutely perfect for a hard sear or deep frying. Right on its heels, refined safflower oil at 510 degrees. You've also got traditional fats like beef tallow and ghee sitting pretty at a highly respectable 480 degrees. And for your classic Asian-style stir-frying or deep frying, refined peanut and sunflower oils hold incredibly strong at 450 degrees.
So to summarize your high-heat heroes, you want to keep refined avocado oil, peanut oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, or beef tallow on hand for the heavy lifting. The key takeaway here? Stability. These specific fats are absolutely essential for searing and frying because they just stubbornly refuse to break down. They're going to give your food that gorgeous caramelized crust without ruining the whole dish with a nasty, bitter aftertaste.
Finally, Part 5. Essential Kitchen Pro Tips on Storage and Flavor.
Okay, to really round out your culinary toolkit, we have to look beyond just temperature. So, the crucial point here is understanding the difference on the label between refined and unrefined. You might have noticed I kept saying refined avocado oil a minute ago. That's because the refining process removes impurities from the oil. Stripping those impurities away is exactly what gives it a much higher smoke point and a highly neutral flavor that is perfectly suited for high heat. Unrefined or virgin oils, on the flip side, retain the raw plant's natural flavor, its color, and yep, those pesky impurities, giving them much lower smoke points. So always check the label. The refining process literally makes all the difference when it comes to heat tolerance.
Beyond temperature, you've also got to match flavor to function. Oils like peanut or beef tallow, amazing for a high-heat fry, for sure, but they carry their own very distinct flavor profiles. Now, if you're baking a delicate vanilla cake or whisking together a super mild sauce, you definitely don't want your fat competing with the flavors of your dish. For tasks like that, a highly refined, perfectly neutral vegetable or canola oil is always going to be your safest choice.
I want to leave you with this final, really vital thought today. Next time you're in the kitchen, take a good look at your pantry. Are you storing your delicate, expensive, unrefined oils right next to a hot stove, or maybe on a sunny windowsill? Well, here's the truth. Even the toughest, highest smoke point oils will turn completely rancid if they're stored in a hot place or exposed to light for too long. To preserve their quality, they demand a cool, dark cupboard. Period. So do yourself a favor, rescue those delicate oils from the heat today for instantly better meals. But, it kind of makes you wonder, if your cooking oils are secretly sabotaging your dinners, what other silent flavor killers are hiding in plain sight in your kitchen right now?